all of you from different places and different cities and different countries. We invite you to come in. We want to invite our friends from Facebook for being here, as we always are every week, and our friends for the second week. For the second week out on my YouTube channel. So all of you guys out in the Facebook world and YouTube, we welcome you aboard here for the coffee hour here on a Friday morning. Thank you so much for being along with us. We got a good show for you as always, and we thank you for being along with us. What we want you to do is sit back and relax, enjoy some coffee. Now, you may have a coffee break for about 15 minutes, and then you have to go back to work. Whatever time you can provide us with of your time, we really appreciate it. Now, some of you may take that 15-minute coffee break and stay at your desk and stay at your computer and still watch the show while you're working. And we would appreciate that for as long as you want to stay. So that's it. And so, as we always say, what's the coffee hour without a little coffee? So, excuse me while I shoot up. Oh boy, we've got sunshine here in New York today. We're going to tell you more about our weather forecast. And when you guys come in too, we invite you to give us your forecast from wherever you are around the world. Now, if you're in New York, you don't have to do that because I will provide that for you. But the rest of you guys, you know the protocol. And if you're joining us for the first time, thank you for being along with us. Don't make it your last time. Make yourself a regular hit right here with us, right here on the coffee hour each week. And let's see. There's so many things to talk about today. First of all, what we're going to do is give that hand clap, right? We always start the show with that hand clap. That hand clap goes out to all the doctors and the nurses and people of personnel in all of the hospitals, all of the first responders like the firefighters and the people in the police department who have been with us ever since this pandemic. Now, this pandemic has been going on over a year now, just a year as a matter of fact. Not quite. Next week will be exactly a year. And we've survived. A lot of us survived it very well, but still the unfortunate people didn't make it. There were so many deaths and so many cases, and still so many deaths and so many cases, but it's kind of like narrowing down a little bit. In some places there are plateaus, and we try to keep it at a level where we can actually get back to normal. And to do that, that means take care of yourself by wearing your mask, your gloves, and all the protective items that you need to keep you going every day, to protect yourself and protect the others around you, like your neighbors, your family, your friends, all around. So that's all we ask you to do. And some people didn't get on board with that, but we ask them to do that, to get on board. By the way, later on in the program, we have our 2020 feature, as we always do every Friday. 20 after the hour, Brian Kemp will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports with Sports Update. DJ Pete will be here 20 to the hour, and he'll be here bringing you information of entertainment. It's entertainment, people of entertainment, giving you all of those marvelous birthdays of all the people of notoriety in the entertainment report. And that's all coming up on the show this very hour. So you stay tuned for that. And I want to say hi to people who are coming in. Just give you that hearty wave to all of you guys who are coming in. Thank you for being along with us on this Friday. And we get back to the corona thing. We want you to continue to be diligent and make sure that you wear your mask and your gloves and all of the things that you need that are necessary to help you to protect yourself. Now, as usual, I always tell you about, if you look over there, up there, over here, down here, depending on how you're watching this show, all YouTube listeners, look into the chat area at the very top. Information about the coronavirus. I have a number there. It's called the Corona-19 hotline. It's the hotline. It's Corona-19, right? And it's a hotline number, and it will give you a chance to call to get information on the questions you may have about the coronavirus, which we have every day of our lives. There's something new every day, and we learn more and more about it as we try to combat it and get back to a regular basis. And that number is like a local number in New York, but we pass it along every week anyway, because somewhere along the line, it may be able to help you. It may lead you to someplace else And you can get information also on where to get the test. And they advise you to get the test too. It's a simple test, it only takes about 5 seconds, and you do that on a regular basis until we find out where we are with your health and making sure that everything is okay. Vaccines are out now, and then when it comes to your area, please take it. We have 3 different vaccines now. We have Pfizer, Moderna, and we also have Johnson and Johnson. It came out 2 days ago. So we've got, and whatever is available to you, wherever your area is, please take it. Don't delay on it, because they're all good vaccines. I was fortunate enough to take my first dose yesterday, so and I feel very good about it. No side effects, no nothing. I feel just as good as I felt when I walked into the place, and I felt good coming out of the place. So everything is okay. The only problem is that when you take the vaccination, eventually you get a little arm sore. But that's what happens when you get any kind of vaccination. No, you get a little arm sore, which lasts for about a day, and that's about it. And then it's all over. And my next dose will be taken April 1st. I got to take my second dose April 1st. And so when that's done, it's all good to go. But listen, just because you take that test, that doesn't mean that you lax, let your guard down. No, you continue when you take your dose, first and your second dose, still continue to follow the protocol. All right. And that protocol is continue to wear your mask. Keep the 6 feet distance away from everyone. Wear your gloves if you have to. Some people are not wearing gloves anymore, but at least carry some hand sanitizer with you. You have a little size, pocket size. You can keep it in your pocket wherever you go. And plus, no matter where you go, let's say you stopped into a bank or something, there's always dispensers of hand sanitizer. Use it. Wherever you can find hand sanitizer, keep it around the house, keep it in your kitchen, your bathroom, and like I said, in your pocket. And for you women, keep it in your purse. So whenever you need it, it's good. I still swear by the gloves as well, so that's pretty good. Not too many people do that. As a matter of fact, I don't see many people these days using gloves like they once were. The only people that I see using the gloves are the people who work in, let's say, supermarkets, like people behind the deli counter or something like that, in the produce department, where they lay out all the food, but walking down the street, you don't see too many people wearing gloves, but I still do. Whenever I can. So always continue to be diligent and do that. Now, for all of you YouTube watchers, you can chat with us, just like the people here on Facebook. You can come in and you can chat with us. You could say something, if you have a conversation that you want to lay out, we'll definitely say hi to you, wave and say hi to you, like we say wave and hi to all of the people that come out. All right. So anyway, that's the story with the coronavirus, and we hope that when it comes to your area, that you will take it. It's safe. A lot of people are still skeptical about it. And they're wondering whether they should take it or not. No one is forced to do anything, but we advise you to do it because we want you to help and make that contribution. You're making a contribution by doing that, because you're helping to combat this virus, because once you do that, the virus has no place to go. When you keep the 6 feet distance going, when you wear your mask, you take your shots, the virus has nowhere to go, and eventually it will die. That's what we're going to do. The goal is to make it to die. Out. Finito. Finished. Whatever adjectives you want to use, we want to make sure it's gone. And so we can get back to normal and do the things that we were doing before. And those things that we were doing before, we took them all for granted. And we didn't realize that this was going to hit and just hit everyone around the world and around our nation. But now we learned the big lesson. I hope everyone learned the lesson by this, that things can be taken away from you when you take them for granted. And so what's the lesson we're learning here? Take nothing for granted anymore. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Salute. Giandani. 100 years. Okay, so it's time for me to get down to the weather. Let's get down to business. Let's get down to business, shall we? Shall we get down to business? Let's get down to business. Okay, we've got 29 degrees here in New York City. This is just the New York weather. This is just the New York weather, so I just want you to know that, all right? It's 29 degrees outside, and this is what it looks like. It's not a bad weekend at all. It looks pretty good, as a matter of fact. Nothing wet, nothing soggy or anything like that. We've got abundance of sunshine today. We'll have a high 38 degrees. Winds will be west-northwest at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight, a few passing clouds, low around 27 degrees. Winds will be west-northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Those passing clouds will not produce any rain or snow or anything like that. Tomorrow, Saturday, will be partly cloudy skies. We'll have a high 37 degrees. Winds will be west-northwest at 10 to 15 miles per hour. Saturday night, some clouds early, and we'll give way to some generally clear conditions overnight. So that's good. No rain. No rain. We're on a roll here. And we'll have a low around 26 degrees. Winds will be northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And as we wrap up our weekend on Sunday, generally sunny skies. We'll have a high 39 degrees. Winds will be northwest at 5 to 10 miles per hour. And repeating our current temperature here in New York City, we have 29 degrees and it's cold. A few days ago, we had situations where the weather was like really good. It was really good. We had a couple of days that landed us in the 50-degree bracket. And because I stepped out of my apartment one day, and it was like early in the week, as a matter of fact. And we're walking out, or maybe it was last week, and we're walking out, and I'm walking out of there, and there we go. It's have my scarf, have a hat, I'm bundled up, looking good, and I come out, and the security guy at the front desk in my apartment building says, "Oh, why are you wearing all of that?" I said, "Because it's cold out there." They said, "Oh, it's warm out there." And so lo and behold, I went out there, and it was. In the meantime, I had the scarf wrapped around my neck and a hat on, and I'm all bundled up, and it's just like springtime. But ladies and gentlemen, don't let that weather fool you, particularly if you had snow prior to all of that, like we did here in New York. We had snow, our last snowstorm, and a few days of snow after that, and it was real cold out there, and all of a sudden you get this warm weather. All right, don't let it fool you. It's not over yet. Today is not over. As you can tell here in New York, it's not over. Like I said, it's 29 degrees. That's not exactly spring. And you really tell spring. I kind of let my guard down when I see the budding of the trees. You know, I look out the window, I see the budding of the trees. I said, okay, it's a little safe now. I think we can do something about that, right? So, but in other words, so don't let your guard down, because you can catch cold very, very easily, very easily. That's what I call gotcha weather. You got that cold weather, all of a sudden it gets warm, 50 degrees, people walking around, taking off their jackets and wearing short sleeves, and in some cases short pants, and all of a sudden, gotcha. Now you're lying in bed because you have a cold. Now you have to have chicken soup and all those things to recover all of that. So please be very careful. I want to say good morning to Mickey Jones out there. Mickey Jones, it's Friday, it's Friday, and a great good morning to you. Mickey Jones is a family man. This is a man who's comes from a close-knitted family. He's just close. He loves his brothers. He loves his sisters, his mom. I saw the picture of you and your mom the other day, and I had to comment on that. Nothing like a mother's love. And God bless your mom. And just, oh, by the way, say hello to her for me. Would you do that? Okay. And let me see. Let me take another hit of this stuff. All right. It's coffee, because that's the only thing that's around right now. It's coffee. It's just coffee. And if you believe that, I'm going to sell you the Brooklyn Bridge. No, it really is coffee, though. Anyway, like I said, we're just a few minutes. We're maybe about 5 minutes away from Brian Campbell will be here with the latest developments in today's world of sports with DJ Pete and everybody. Brian just walked into the room. Good morning to you, Brian. DJ Pete just walked into the room. Good morning, DJ Pete. So my guys are here. They're all here. I'm not alone anymore. I'm not out here alone anymore. But DJ Pete just gave us his weather forecast, and it looks like this is going to be in Portland, Maine, partly cloudy today, and he's going to have a high of 25 degrees. I think that's summertime to him. I don't know. And low tonight, 12 degrees. 1% chance of precipitation. That's like practically nothing, right? All right. But anyway, 25 degrees in Portland, Maine. I guess that's warm in Portland, Maine. I've got 29 here in New York City. What have you got in Raleigh, Mickey? What do you got there? Give us a rundown. And Brian, of course, he'll give us his weather forecast when he comes on and do the sports. He'll tell us all about it. But those of you who are coming in, we want to say hi. I see more people coming in, so I just want to wave to you guys, say hi, and give us your weather forecast. You could be anywhere around the world. You could be in Florida. You could be in Las Vegas. You could be in California, Arizona, Japan. You can be in Mexico. We had listeners or viewers in Mexico come in and greet us. And we welcome everyone here. Everyone is here. And this is a place for everyone, just as long as you're nice. That's all. That's all we ask for. And again, welcome you guys to YouTube channel. Thanks for being here. We're going to be here with you for a whole hour. We're here every Thursday. But just in case you're just joining us for the first time, that's what we do. We're here on the coffee hour every Friday. I said Thursday, but every Friday between 10 and 11. And after that begins a new weekend. At least for me. My weekend starts at 11 o'clock. Yours, you're probably at work, and yours will start about 4 or 5 o'clock this afternoon. But listen, don't worry about it. It'll be here waiting for you. It'll be here waiting for you. So let's see. I don't want to miss anybody. So I covered everybody. People are still coming in. And there's my cousin out there, Warren. Listen, family never really comes in, but I'm surprised to see him today. Hey, Warren, how you doing? I thought about you this morning, too, and I was going to give you a call. And good morning to you. Let's see. Okay, so everybody's greeting each other. I see Mickey tells me he has sunny skies in Raleigh, North Carolina. That's where Mickey's from. Raleigh, North Carolina. And he's got 38 degrees right now. So isn't that kind of chilly for Raleigh? And they're going to have a high of 53 degrees. So that's a big jump from 38 degrees presently to 53 degrees later on. I'll take it. I'll take it. Because we're not even getting that here in New York. But you guys in Charlotte and Raleigh and all of those warm places in Florida and Las Vegas and California, Arizona, you never really feel the bite. We feel the bite. Now, if you want me to send you some of the bite that comes here, that cold weather, we'll be glad to do it. However, we were kind of lucky this year. Other than the snowstorm that we had recently, we were kind of lucky this year because outside of that storm that we had, that snowstorm we had, other than that, we were pretty lucky. So I'm not going to say we got away with murder because, it's not over till it's over. All right. Until I see the budding of the trees, and that's when I'll let my guard down a little bit, just a little bit. And we'll see what happens. But I am glad you guys are out there and stay with us. We're going to be here and we'll continue. So, guys, excuse me while I shoot up. That's good bourbon. Good coffee. Good coffee. Okay, let's see. On our radio show last night, we talked about a lot of things. We talked about the situation. Did anybody, by the way, see the inauguration yesterday? There was supposed to be an inauguration yesterday. Did anybody see? Because I might have missed it. Did anybody out there see the inauguration for our 19th president of the United States? And is the Capitol building still standing? Is that okay? Or what do they do over there? I don't know. I'm guessing everything is okay. and I'm guessing that Joe Biden is still the president. All right. So there you go. Delusion, delusion, delusion. And now, coming up, ladies and gentlemen, as promised, is part of our 2020 feature, our very first part of the feature with Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. Brian is out there in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he's coming to you. What do you got out there for your weather? Is he there? Is he there? Let me check him. Brian, are you there? Let's see. Are you there? Are you there? Okay. I'm going to have to get him back. We're going to have to get him back. Get him to call back. Call back, Brian. I think we kind of lost you along the way. Anyway, while we wait for him, all of that news that you heard about the inauguration of the new president, the 19th president of the United States, was supposed to happen yesterday. You heard about that, right? And everyone is shaking in their boots. Oh my God, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? I don't know what we're gonna. But it was everybody. No, everyone took that with a grain of salt anyway. That was taken with a grain of salt anyway. I don't know. Let's see. No, Warren, it's not decaf. It's not decaf. I tried to find a decaf, but I couldn't find decaf. So there's no decaf today. No decaf today. So I'm going to have to do with what I have here. Let's see. Mickey Jones just said you just had 73 the other day. You just had 73 the other day. 73 what? 73 what? Coffees? Okay, no decaf today. And after this is the weekend, and everybody's gonna cut up, right? But when you do, cut up in your own house. Don't go outside. Don't go to the close quarters or anything like that. I think Brian is on the line now. How you doing? What happened? Do we have him here? He's not saying anything. Okay, wait a minute. Is he there? Are you there, Brian? I'm not getting him. I don't know what's happening here. I am not sure what's going on here. Let's see. Well, try it again. Call back. I'm not sure. I'm not getting it. I think it's muted or something. Okay, let's try that again. All right. I know that the speaker is on. I don't know. We got to find out. Maybe it's something on your end, Brian. I don't know. Try it again. Okay. Something's wrong with. No, nothing's wrong here. You heard the speaker, right? You heard that. Okay. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
There you go. Finally. It wasn't me.
Yeah.
It wasn't my fault.
The operator says, try again. Your phone is busy. So I don't know what happened.
I don't know. This is weird. It's weird. Everything is weird. I think it's conspiracy.
Good morning to you. Good morning to Mickey. Good morning to Pete. Good morning, my cousin Warren. Good morning to everybody else that's out there. So we're having 48 degrees weather out here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Very sunny. And I don't know what's going on the other side of North Carolina, Raleigh. Mickey's saying it's 38. I guess they hit a cold front, but he is right though. It does get warm within an hour. It jumps to 10 to 15 degrees warmer out here in North Carolina. So we're going to get some pretty good weather today and even next week. Next week we're going to be in the high 70s next week. So that's where we stand. But I'll get right to it. Since I lost a couple minutes of time, in the WNBA, former Atlanta Dream guard Renee Montgomery, she made history last Friday. She and two other people, investors of a group, approved the purchase of the team of the Atlanta Dream. Now she was removed Senator Kelly Loeffler. She was a Republican who angered the WNBA players during the black movement of the social justice of Black Lives Matter. She was removed. She did not even congratulate or meet with Miss Montgomery at all. As you know, she's a very close friends with the former president, number 45. And Montgomery will play an active role with the team as new owner. And she just retired just a little while ago, too, in order to purchase the team upon her retirement. She played 11 seasons with the WNBA, winning 2 championships. So congratulations. As for Senator Loeffler, she's not having a good year and a half. She not only that she lost her team, but she lost to the Reverend Raphael Warnock, who is the pastor of the Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta, Georgia, where the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was pastor there. So she's now jobless, but she'll bounce back off her feet and she'll get something else. NFL great former player and TV analyst Irv Cross has passed away last Sunday. He was a Pro Bowl defensive back who became the first black man to work full time as sports analyst on national televised CBS, along with Brett Musburger and Phyllis George. Remember Phyllis George? She was a former Miss USA, and he spent 23 years at CBS and won the Pro Football Hall of Fame Pete Rozelle Radio and Television Award. He was 81, doesn't say the cause of death. Major League Baseball announced that starting June 2nd that they will have Lou Gehrig Day, honoring the great Hall of Fame New York Yankee first baseman. This will include an annual tribute in which uniform personnel will wear a jersey patch celebrating Gehrig and a number 4 ALS. That's the disease that he died of. I'm not going to even try to attempt to pronounce it, but I'll give it a shot. It's an amyotrophic lateral sclerosis. It's a disease that slowly kills you as every muscle in your body slowly stops working. And it really, what it does is just paralyze you. He died at the age of 37, young man. He died back in 1941. Many of you all that watch sports saw the great farewell speech that he gave. Also, with the Yankees, New York manager Aaron Boone is taking immediate leave of absence after having surgery on Wednesday. He's getting a pacemaker, so he'll be looking to get back within several days. Right now, they're presently having spring training. So this weekend, this Sunday, it's not this weekend, is All-Star Weekend in the NBA. You know that they usually have the facilities for the weekend, but since the pandemic we are here, they're only going to have one day, and that's on Sunday. They're going to have Team LeBron James versus Team Kevin Durant team. They just picked their teams as no more East versus West game, players. This is just the 2 top vote getters. They are chosen to be captains, and they will what they do, they pick their own squad. So look forward to that. They're going to downscale the All-Star games and the festivities. Before the game, they're going to have the skills challenge and the 3-point contest that will take place before the game. And during the halftime, they will have the slam dunk contest at halftime. And the NBA and NBA Players Association agreed to give more than $2.5 million historical black colleges and universities to charity for these schools. Commissioner Adam Silver credit National NBA Players Association President Chris Paul for the idea of those things to be part. And the mayor of Atlanta, Mayor Keisha Lance Buttons, telling people do not come to the city of Atlanta. There'll be no gathering. Do not come to the game, of course, because there'll be no fans. This is all safety protocol. So if they do have fans, it's just probably limited to some family and friends. But to my understanding, to what I've known, that there will be nobody there really to be there. So, and that's it.
Well, that's good. Good. No fans. No, don't go out there. Don't do anything. Stay home. Stay away from big crowds. Guys in Texas could take that advice.
Yeah, stay home and watch Netflix and Prime Video. I'm gonna watch Coming to America in a little while. Number 2. I've heard some bad reviews already, but I want to see it for myself. And I'm probably
That sounds good. Sounds like a good weekend to me. Well, thanks a lot for that, Brian. We'll catch you back here next week, okay?
Take care now.
Take care of yourself. Okay, that's Brian Camp with the latest developments in today's world of sports. He's with us every week, bringing you sports news. And so sports is back. It's coming back slowly but surely. Can't wait for the baseball season to come back. Love baseball. And, we made it through the football season, the basketball season. So it's slowly coming back. We have to take everything in stride, like they're talking about getting kids back at school. And we want that to happen too, but we want to do it on a safe level. And so, in the meantime, while people are practicing safety for their health, following the protocol, keeping things in line, wearing their mask and their gloves and all of those, you got other people on the other side too are saying, well, we're going to open up our city, our town, our state. We're going to open up in full force, 100%, 100%. We're going to eliminate the mask. No one's wearing masks. The mask mandate. They're going to eliminate that in Texas, and of course, Greg Abbott. That's the I think the mayor. I think he's the mayor or the governor. Governor. He's the governor of Texas. Hey, Abbott! I really take that. I joke around, but I really take this thing serious. And when I heard that, that he's going to open up 100%. I mean, in other words, everything is going to go back to normal as if nothing happened. I mean, you don't have to wear the mask. You can go to bars. You can go to restaurants in full force, no problem. And, when I hear that and everybody else is trying to beat all of this, and there's always someone throwing a monkey wrench into the mix. And so Governor Abbott, I don't know. I really don't know what to say. And we're waiting around because it affects all of us. When you do that, you affect all of us. You may say, "Oh, Cole, let them do what they want to do. Let them, get sick." Or you may say that. You may say that, but don't forget that while he's doing all of that, it still affects us anyway because that surge is not going down. And by the way, I understand that we're supposed to be getting another one. I heard it yesterday. I wasn't sure if that was true, but I heard it this morning as well. So we're supposed to be getting another surge. So, like I said, you do everything that you have to do. You take your shots, your vaccination shots, which I did yesterday. I took my first dose yesterday, but it's nothing is going to change. Even though I take the vaccination, nothing is going to change. I'm still going to be wearing the mask. I'm still going to practice the 6 feet distance from other people. I am still going to wear the gloves. I am still going to stay home as much as possible. People are going out a little bit. They're slowly but surely getting back into the groove of things, and some people doing mass transit. I didn't get to the point where I'm doing mass transit yet. I am not comfortable with that yet. Gyms are opening. I'm not comfortable with that as much as I love the gym. I want to go back to the gym. I can't wait till the gym to open. The gym that I go to is not open anyway. But some gyms are open. And I guess they're practicing, the distance there. In other words, if you're on a treadmill, let's say you got 6 different treadmills, every other treadmill is operable. We'll close like the other ones down. So every other treadmill, it's like when you go into the doctor's office, you go to the doctor's office and you wait for them. You got chairs lined up, but every other chair is off limits. So they don't use them. So this way you're apart away from the person that you're sitting next to, and you want to stay as far away as possible. The supermarkets are still working on their thing. The supermarkets, when you go to the supermarkets, they still practice it. They're going to make sure everybody is safe. When you're online, you're 6 feet behind the person before you get to the cash register, and they're still practicing that. So I'm good. I'm glad to see that. No one there is dropping their guard. I'm not going to drop my guard, and I hope that you don't drop your guard either. 5 minutes away from DJ Pete. He'll be along with us. And just in case you're just joining us, it's the coffee hour, and it's you and me every week. Every week we're here between 10 and 11 a.m. And you check your time, and everything is Eastern here. We do things on the Eastern side. So those of you who are on the West Coast, we're like 3 hours apart, right? We're 3 hours ahead of you guys. So we want you to know that everything that we do here is Eastern. We're coming live from New York City, and so that's about it. And everybody's working. If you could hear background noise like someone is doing construction, well, that's exactly what they're doing. So we say to those guys, thank God you guys have jobs, right? And those of you who are back on your jobs, some people didn't go back on their jobs, but there are some people who have the luxury of working from home, and they can do that too. And some of the offices are back in session. Some of the schools are back. Some parents are not really comfortable with sending their children back to school in person, so they want to continue to do virtual studies, and so that's what they do. But some people, you can't force anyone to do anything. Just because you say it's okay to do that, that doesn't mean people want to do that. Like they say, it's okay, go on a mass transit, take the buses, take the subways. That doesn't mean you have to take it. That only means that they're open to it and that you can have the choice of doing it or not doing it. And right now, I'm not comfortable with it, so I'll wait around for a while. There's a lot of things that people are walking around with, and they're opening some restaurants. Our governor here is opening up. I don't know if he did it yet, but he's supposed to be opening up the restaurants, but they're supposed to be like very few people. There's supposed to be a limited amount of people on the inside, but at the same time, they're still using the outdoor cafes. They will place you in a bubble. And they have the heaters there just in case it's cold out there, so you can keep warm while you're dining. So they're doing a lot of things to work on, and we want to keep prayers out for Governor Cuomo. I want to keep prayers open to him. I know this is a bad time for him right now. You probably heard the news. I'm not going to go into it, but it's a bad time for him right now. And I hope whatever happens, that he's okay, and that his victims, so-called victims, are okay, and they're going to be okay. I just want the best for everyone, because this is not a good time for him. And he's not going to resign from New York. He said it already. He has apologized for it, and so we'll see what happens. We'll take it from there and see what happens. As much as I like him, I really hate to see these politicians go off on a rampage like that. I mean, of course, he's accused of sexual harassment. I said I wasn't going to get into it, but that's the story. He's accused of sexual harassment by 3 women, and who knows, maybe more will show up. And they're really making a big thing out of this. But then again, you had sexual predators. You had one in the White House. Okay, I guess that doesn't count, though. I guess that doesn't count because it was all locker room talk. It was all locker room talk. All right. So when you tell me, you can't tell me about locker room talk. All right. As a former athlete, you can't tell me about locker room talk. We don't talk that kind of talk in the locker room. At least back then we didn't. Because if we talked that kind of talk in the locker room and our parents found out about it, that was the end. That was your hide. So no, we didn't. That's not what you talk about. What we did talk about in the locker room is a guy made that unnecessary error on third base. He could have caught that ball. We talked about that. And every once in a while, a fight will break out in the locker room. But that's what goes on in locker rooms. All right. None of that crap talk. All right. But like I said, he lived in the White House. He lived in the White House. But that's okay. It's locker talk. We don't have to worry about that. We had a guy that lived in the White House, and he's a sexual predator. But it's okay. But they're gonna really give it to Cuomo, and I don't excuse that either. I don't excuse him either if that's the truth of it all. Anyway, we are coming up. As a matter of fact, we are here now to the DJ Pete is on the line. And DJ Pete, as you know, he comes on for our second part of the feature, our 2020 feature. And he's got information and entertainment. And, of course, he's going to talk about all of those birthdays. Pete, how are you today?
Good morning, Frank and Brian and everybody watching in Facebook and YouTube world today. How is everyone today?
I'm good. I have my coffee here.
Got your coffee today, Frank?
Yep. It's not the stuff that I really want to drink at this time of the day, but this is the only thing around.
Yeah, I heard you say bourbon earlier. So.
Yeah, well, that was a mistake. Yeah, and that was a mistake.
Yeah. So I got some really great birthday people in the music industry this week, and two of them are leap year babies. They were born on February 29th. So let's see. The first one is Fannie Rose Shore, also known as Dinah Shore, born this week, February 29th, 1916. American singer, actress, television personality, worked with many big band musicians and orchestras, Tommy Dorsey, Jimmy Dorsey, and many more. Who else do I have? Who is a leap year baby? James Francis Dorsey, Jimmy Dorsey, we know him as, born this week, February 29th, 1904. Brother of Tommy Dorsey. They worked together, and then they kind of split up, and then they got back together. Jimmy played a clarinet and saxophone, where his brother played the trombone. And they made a couple of appearances in the old Honeymooners episodes a long time ago as themselves. Who else do we have here this week? James Robert Wills, also known as Bob Wills. His band, famous band, is known as Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys. He is one of the co-founders of the Western Swing Sound, which is basically, in simple terms, country Western musicians playing swing and jazz tunes of the 1940s and 50s. Steel Guitar Rag, Smoke on the Water, Roly Poly, and many more was some of the tunes that Bob Wills played. If you remember a week or so ago, I mentioned his brother Billy Jack Wills, who was also a musician to Bob, and picked up the Western swing sound back in the 1940s and 50s. And finally, this week, born March, let's see, who else do we have here? Born March 1st, 1904, Glenn Miller. And big band trombonist, arranger, composer, band leader, Pennsylvania 65000, Chattanooga Choo Choo. If you see Chattanooga Choo Choo on YouTube, it's an 8-minute video taken from the movie Sun Valley Serenade in 1941. Really great video of its time, especially in the cinematography in it. Glenn Miller, for those of you that don't know, disappeared in 1944. He was flying to Paris in a small aircraft and during bad weather. Now, the best case scenario is they think the weather played a factor, or he accidentally got bombed out of the sky by our own aircraft at the time. But that's Glenn Miller, and that's all I have this week.
Mm-hmm. Here. Do you remember Andy Gibb? Andy Gibb of the Gibb Brothers, BG. Well, he's no longer around, but if he had been around today, he would have been 63 years old. Tina Marie, everybody knows Tina Marie. She passed away too. She's no longer with us. She would have been 65 today. Eddie Hodges, young boy, started as a young actor. He was an actor, singer, and he's all grown up now. Big boy, he's 74 today. And Paul Evans, who did that classic song back in the 50s, that was before your time, 7 Little Girls Sitting in the Back Seat. And he also did Happy Go Lucky Me. He's 83 today. And as if anybody else out there have birthdays, and happy birthday to you too.
Yes, definitely. That's all I have for this week. I put my radio show info in the chat room here.
Good.
What else is going on, Frank, this week or whatever?
That's basically it. It's been a quiet week this week. and I don't expect anything to materialize. But then the week is still it's old now, but you always have next week to look forward to. Other than that, that's about it. And if you're asking me about what's happening this weekend, it's the same old song and dance.
I'm sure it is. Same here. Oh, here's another note about Glenn Miller. One of his movies he was in, I'm trying to find, I just read it, but I'm trying to find it here, featured a young Jackie Gleason. And Jackie Gleason's character was a bass player in Glenn Miller's band. I'm trying to find the name of it here. But I remember seeing it some time ago. I'm going to have to look it up again. But look for that movie out there. Anything with Glenn Miller. Sun Valley Serenade is the really great one with the song Chattanooga Choo Choo. Oh, here it is. Orchestra's Wives, featuring Jackie Gleason.
Mm.
And it was an interesting movie.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone should check them out.
Mm-hmm. Will do. Check out a lot of other movies today. During the week, Turner Classic Movies. Psycho is coming on, and you got there's another one, Gypsy with Rosalind Russell. All of those things are coming on. You check them out. There's a lot of things to be seen this weekend, and so that's what I'm going to do.
Excellent.
All right.
Love the movies. I'm digging up some old ones here to watch while I'm still out of work.
Yeah.
And like I mentioned, I dropped some information on my radio shows in the chat room here, and stuff on the pandemic that people should remember that COVID is still putting the entertainment industry out of business.
Yeah.
Oh, recently in entertainment news, a small cinema movie chain here in New England recently announced that they are permanently closing several movie theaters in Maine, New Hampshire, and Massachusetts. They just could not open up at all, and the business is going out of business right now.
All right. Well, we're survivors. We can make it. Thanks a lot, Pete. I'll catch you next week.
All right, definitely. A big shout out to you and Brian and everybody else in Facebook and YouTube world, and have a good day and weekend. We'll see you next week.
Take care. You got it. Okay, that was DJ Pete. DJ Pete, by the way, you can hear him on WWW Radio, airwaves.co.uk. And he's on Mondays between 8 p.m. and 10 p.m. and Thursdays between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. Also, you can catch him on www.wmpg.org. And just in case you're not in Portland, Maine, where you could actually pick up the radio station WMPG, you can go to the website and check them out. And that's all around the world. That's worldwide. That's the World Wide Web. They don't say World Wide Web anymore. I don't even know if they use www. Or some people do. Anyway, sometimes it's required for some place. Anyway, it's www.wmpg.org, and that's every other Tuesday. You can catch them there on that station between 8:30 p.m. and 10 p.m., and all times are Eastern. We're all on Eastern time, so check it out right there. Okay, I want to tell you about my show. Okay, I gave up. I hung up my DJ boots. You guys already know that, right? So I'm not the disc jockey anymore. I miss it every day. I miss it every day, but you gotta move on. But I do have a podcast because it's a talk show, and I talk to people of newsmakers and people of entertainment. And the name of the show is called The Blue Cafe, and you can check it out. As a matter of fact, if you look up there in the section, and those of you who are on YouTube, go to the chat area, and it's at the very top. I have the information down at the bottom, and it's called The Blue Cafe. And underneath that, it has the link, the direct link. You can go check it out for yourself. And this latest interview I had with the legendary Jimmy Clanton, who was very popular in the 1950s, and he was like a 1950s teenage idol. So I had a chat with him. I talked to him. It's an hour show, of course, and we talked to him for a whole hour, played his music, talked about his career, and he's still working. He's got plans coming up after this pandemic is over. He's going to go back to work like all of us will. and he's going to cut more songs and write more songs. But anyway, check it out. It's right there on the link, Blue Cafe, right there on the link. Check it out. Go directly there. And not only that, the interview I had prior to that was an interview with Bobby Wilson. That's the son of Jackie Wilson. So you have two interviews to listen out for. And I have more people coming along the way. I'm going to be talking to more people, whether they're newsmakers, they're authors, whether they're, I don't know. And it doesn't have to be like people of notoriety. People may call me and say, hey, I have a new group coming out. And if I think you're good, if I like you, I may have you on the show. You never know. I've had people call me and say, I'd like to be on your show. And I like to help out people. There's a platform for people who want to get into entertainment and don't know how to get into entertainment. And I'm not going to promise you're going to make $1 million after you get on the show, but I can promise you'll have a lot of fun doing it. I have a lot of fun doing all my shows. So check it out. It's there. And I will repeat it before the show is over. So there you go. Salute. Gentani. Okay, so there you have. That wraps up our 2020 feature. Brian Camp did his part, 20 after the hour, with his sports update, the latest developments in today's world of sports. And of course, you already heard DJ Pete doing his part of the 2020 feature, 20 to the hour, with entertainment news, and he recites all of those birthdays of people of notoriety. You always notice I always say people of notoriety because I'm not the person that like to say you're a star. I'm a star. I don't look at anyone as a star. I really don't. I guess it's nice. I don't know who came up with that. I'm a star. I'm a star. I don't know who came up with that. But because stars are in the sky. That's where the stars are. You're not up there, so I guess that's how it came about. I'm up there, so I'm a star. All right. So why stop if that's what you want to be? If you want that kind of notoriety, go for the best. If there were anything like I would say, I would say, okay, I don't want to be a star, but I want to be the sky because the sky holds the stars, the moon, and the sun. You can't get bigger than that. Unless, of course, you can go beyond that and there's God. Other than that, I'm the sky. So I hold all of you guys. I'm this. I hold the stars, the moon, and the sun. Which, by the way, they're all stars too. The moon and the sun, they're stars too. But I hold all of that. So who's bigger, the star or the sky? Think about that. Think about that. So that's why I always say people of notoriety. I like that better because, people, they know you. People who think they are stars, they don't know anyone, but everybody knows them. All right. So I like to say people of notoriety because they do have notoriety. There is such thing as notoriety. So I always use that word notoriety. It sounds better. It doesn't sound egotistical or anything like that. It's just one of those things. I want to say hi to all you people. More people are coming in, I see. So I just want to say hi to you guys. And I agree with what you just said, Warren. If we're going to go back in time, I'd like to bring back those drive-in movies. I love those drive-in movies, right? And the old speakers they put next to the windows. You have the old speakers so you can hear the sound, all right? But yeah, I say bring back the drive-in movie. You know what? I'll tell you what else. Since we're on the subject, Warren, that's a good subject you brought up because there are more things, and all of us, you can join in on this one. There are a lot of things I like to see brought back. A lot of things, all right? Drive-in movie is one of them. Drive-in movie is one of them. Now, you tell me what you like to see to come back. Drive-in movie, Warren just said he'd like to see the drive-in movie come back. You know what else I would like to see to come back? I would like to see the automats. Remember the automats? You can go in there and, the little windows, and you have sandwiches or some kind of food or desserts or whatever it is. You can see it. You drop the coin in, you open it up, you take it out, and you sit down. It's like a cafeteria where you don't have to, you don't have to pay to get in there. It's all you have to do is you want your food, you want a snack or something, you drop it in that little slot, open the door, you take your food, and you sit down. Those are the automats. They were great. I love the automats. They were great. I loved them. I think the reason why they probably closed down the automats is because when the homeless situation started started escalating more, I think they were hanging out in there, and then they didn't want that. I guess that's my only guess. Other than that, I would love to see the automats come back. I would love to see them. What about you? Anybody else want to see something nostalgic? They didn't want to come back. I like to hear about that. Yeah. So the drive-ins, the automats, yeah, and that would be great. Yeah, I'll tell you what else I would like to see. Living in New York City, I would like to go back to the 15-cent subway fare, the bus fare. 15 cent. I would like to go back to that. We know that's not going to happen. 15 cent. All right, that's as far as I go back, when the subway and the buses were 15 cents. All right, that's where I go back. Some people are younger, so they go back to 20 cents. But I go back to the year of when the subway and the buses were 15 cents. So yeah, I want to see that come back. You think, no, it won't come back. I can dream, can I? All right. So those are a couple of things I like to see back. Anybody else have any suggestions what they want to see? Bring back. Tokens on the subway. Okay, that's another one. Tokens. Remember the token? They had different size tokens over the years. Now, when we go back to 15 cent, they had the tokens were about the size of a dime. The subway token had the little wide that you could see through, right? And I think I still have one laying around my apartment somewhere. But I have a couple of tokens, old tokens, and the tokens got bigger. And then, but before the tokens, they were like tickets. And that was long before I was born. They had the tickets. But yeah, the tokens, come back, tokens. You know why? It's better to have tokens? Because when you swipe your Metro card, through the swiper, all right, for lack of a better term, sometimes it takes your fare. And it won't register. It won't say go. That little sign that says go, and you can go right through the turnstile. And so it won't take your fare. Unless, of course, you have one of those unlimited cards, right, where you can swipe it. If it takes your fare, you can go to the token booth and say, I just swiped my card, but I can't get through the turnstile. And they would look at it. They have a way of putting in a computer and looking at it. Providing you have they don't call them token clerks anymore. They call them agents, right? And they have a way of checking to see if the card was swiped, and if it is, they say, okay, you can go right through. They let you right in. But the token clerks, which they don't call token clerks anymore because they're no more tokens, they just call them plain agents. They're even distinct because they're gone, and like everything is like they're losing their jobs. They don't have those anymore. And so if you swipe your card and nothing happens, you have no human being to say, I just swiped my card, it took my fare away. Can you check it out and let me through? So yeah, the tokens are very important because with a token, you can't lose. You drop a token and you walk right through. Now, speaking of tokens, I got to confess, my mom would kill me. I'm going to do this right quick. I got to confess, back in those days, when we had tokens, right? I lived in Brooklyn. I lived in the Williamsburg section of Brooklyn, and I lived next to an industrial area. And I would walk to that area, and they had, freight trains, freight cars, and things like that, and all kinds of factories. They had a slug factory, and they had the slugs. They had different size. They come one size is dime, one is size of the subway token that we used to use, and we used to use those slugs. And I used to put the slug in the slot and walk right through. Got free. If my mom knew that, she would kill me. But they got wise to that. It was all over. Anyway, that was just another story. But, keep in mind those things think about those things that you'd like to have back. I got to go. I'll be back here next week, and we're going to do it all over again. Don't forget to check out my podcast, The Blue Cafe. It's right up there, over here, down there, wherever you can see it. It's right at the very bottom. It says Blue Cafe, and they have the link. Go straight there. It's Jimmy Clanton. It's the latest interview that I have there, along with Bobby Wilson. And don't forget to check out my show, Talk Back Live, every Thursday between 8 and 9 p.m. Eastern. And we talk about things that's Talk Back Live Radio. Other than that, I'll be back here next week. Join me then. I'll see you guys. Have a great weekend and a great day, and I will see you then. Take care of yourself and have a happy weekend.